The deal number 6, the last deal of private equity, is represented by Vulture Financing. Vulture Financing is the financing of a company stays in crisis or decline. This is the private equity is going to finance the last stage of the life cycle of the company. As it happens in replacement financing, the label is quite broad and we have evidence of different deals inside. In this case, in Vulture Financing, we have evidence of 2 different deals. On one end, we have restructuring financing, and on the other hand, we have distress financing. The reason why we have evidence of 2 different deals, it's related to the fact that the status of crisis of a company can be regulated in 2 different ways. That's the reason why in all the countries in the world, it's fundamental to identify 2 different stories of financing a company stays in a crisis. Let's start with restructuring financing. Some practitioners sometimes say it's also turnaround financing, but in most of cases we say restructuring financing. What's the idea of restructuring financing? The idea is that a company stays into a crisis, but the company is still alive. That means the company needs money to pay the other financiers or to pay the suppliers, but the company needs money as well to invest in new fixed asset, to relaunch the business or to design a new strategy. That means the company doesn't need only money, but the company needs a lot of strategic support. If a private equity wants to invest in this kind of deal, has to play 2 different roles. On one end, to be a financer, on the other hand, to be a consultant, an advisor of the company. More or less what happens, if you remember, also in early growth financing, where the private equity has to support the company. In this case, the private equity has to support the company a lot. But this time, in restructuring, the deal is quite risky because we are investing in a company that stays in a crisis, and to redesign the strategy could be very difficult. For this reason, deals of restructuring are not very common in private equity, and if you have a private equity willing to invest, in most of cases, the private equity wants to be the majority shareholder. The reason is related to the fact that the private equity wants to have the possibility to change the management, to change the CEO, to redesign completely the strategy. Very, very tough business that make the business and the deal very difficult. The second deal of Vulture Financing is represented by distressed financing. In this case, distressed financing is the financing of a defaulted company. That means is a financing of a company which is dead. It seems a contradiction, because if the company defaulted, it's not possible for the company to receive money. And it's true. So we say financing just to use the same wording of the other business, but effectively the deal of distressed financing is a deal in which the private equity investor is going to buy assets of the defaulted company. Examples of assets are represented by the brand name of the company, patents of the company, high quality equipment and machinery. In all these cases, the company defaulted and the private equity wants to buy these assets. The reason why the private equity wants to buy these assets are related to 2 different stories. The first one, the private equity is a trader of assets. So the private equity buys assets and sells these assets to other investors. The second story is a story in which the private equity buys these assets and inserts these assets in other companies the private equity has got in his or her portfolio to increase the value. To buy assets of defaulted company is not easy because the private equity has to negotiate the buying process with the court, because laws are different in different countries, but in all the countries the process of default is managed by the court. And the negotiation could be tough because the goal, the purpose of the court is to maximize the amount of cash to satisfy the need of suppliers, banks, and so on. So it's a very tough negotiation, and in many cases in this negotiation, the court wants to give to the private equity investor some poison pills. Poison pills are represented, for example, by some mortgages or by the fact that the private equity wants to buy a plant or a machinery, but inside the plant or the machinery we have a lot of workers and it's very difficult to negotiate with them. Unfortunately, or not, it depends from our perspective, distress financing are a very popular deal in countries where the GDP is not flying or in countries where there were a lot of defaults, for example in Europe, where these deals are very popular. A last aspect, the way to work of these deals is strictly related to the level of quality of the law. And for example, in the United States, where the law of distress financing is named Chapter 11, these kind of deals work very well.